What is that? It's being called the clearest UFO footage ever, and online AI detectors are confirming it's not AI generated with over 99% accuracy. A triangular-shaped craft with no visible propulsion system, flashing strange sparks of blue light in the sky. Some are calling it extraterrestrial technology, but others believe this is what is known as a TR-3B, or Black Manta, a rumored anti-gravity aircraft made under top-secret government black budget programs. Technology beyond our imagination they'll never admit exists, using reverse-engineered crashed alien spacecraft propulsion systems operated by the US Navy and Air Force, which the United States of course denies, even though there are confirmed government-owned patents for triangular spacecraft that were filed in 2004 and abandoned after 2006, whose description just so happens to sound almost exactly like what we're looking at over here. The same craft that has been spotted numerous times around the world over the decades, only to get swept aside as a hoax or nothing to see here. But no, please Google this so you can read all about how it's 100% debunked, and don't you dare question it any further.
Do you know there's another Neuralink competitor in the United States? They started before Elon Musk. They're called Synchron, and it is funded by Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. This brain chip, you can text with it, use email, shop online, scroll on social media, all hands-free, just through thought alone.
Well, that's dangerous.
And guess how it's put into you? An injection through your jugular.
Ew.
They're not cutting your head open. It's an injection.
Is there an actual physical chip?
It's like microchips that go into your bloodstream that live in your brain. You're able to literally control electric devices just by thought. An injection. Yeah. It's not like, hey, you want to come in and get this brain chip? We have to split your head open. Yeah. It's like, dude, they can sneak this in through anything.
For a global pandemic.
But by Bill Gates and Amazon. That's such bad news. And I've never heard of this company in my life. This might be a stretch, but you do think of the mark of the beast. It says free or slave, rich or poor. You cannot buy or sell. You have to have this mark in order to do this mark of the beast. And so it'll be in the right hand or the forehead. And I'm just thinking the forehead. Is it referring to it's going to be in your brain?
Dude, what world are we living in?
As far as we know, we're made of elementary particles and there is nothing else. The only reason we assign some unusual qualities to humans is because the human brain is such a complex machine, and there is a simple, this is not just a theory, what I'm saying. We can test it, and we can test it with AI. Because once we develop an AI system that has as many parameters as the human brain, my prediction is that it will show the other qualities of the human brain. It will show a behavior that is consistent with it having consciousness, and it will show a behavior that is consistent with it having free will. So you would not be able to tell the difference between the behavior of a human.
Turing type.
Yeah, but it's Turing to a higher level. It's not Turing by a system that can fool you. That already exists now. Yeah. I know of people that fall in love with large language models. And I also have an avatar that a company constructed, basically trained on all my interviews and my writings and my recordings, and potentially also having video appearance. And I said, that's great, because I can send that avatar to podcast interviews like this one and save time. I had to fly here in order to speak with you. And if I have an agent that, can imitate what I say, that's good.
I'm sure they appreciate you being here and not an avatar.
Yeah, you can testify that I'm real.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Well, so far as I know what real is, but yes.
We have some news right now. Chinese scientists are currently developing a robot that could carry a baby to term and give birth to it. Yes, this is real. According to Asian media outlets, this prototype robot that's being created would literally be attached to a hose in which it would retrieve nutrients. It would have an artificial womb in which the baby grew. The prototype is expected to be released as soon as next year and will cost about 100,000 yuan, which is about $13,000 US. Now, the company that's creating it is called Kaiwa Technology. Now, the company hasn't provided really much information over how the insemination process would work here, but we are really moving into the future if this is a real thing that actually is deployed. And now there are major ethical concerns and major ethical discussions going on online of whether or not this should even be done.
Musk's latest project is a robot designed to carry human pregnancies. And while it sounds futuristic, it raises serious concerns about health, ethics, and the future of human connection. Seriously, pregnancy is not just about carrying a child. It's a complex process that impacts health, development, and bonding. Introducing robots into this equation could change everything about family dynamics and human development. So why on earth are we even exploring this path? Elon argues that it's about supporting families and tackling birth rate declines, but are we losing something critical by replacing nature with tech?
These are contact lenses that let you see in the dark. They're like night vision goggles without needing the goggles. And it gets even crazier because these lenses let you see even when your eyes are completely closed. It's pretty insane. Now, this was a massive breakthrough by a research lab in China. And the way it all works is super interesting. The contacts are coated with special nanoparticles that absorb infrared light. That's the part of the spectrum our human eyes can't normally see. But here's the big innovation. Those nanoparticles can then convert that invisible light into visible waves that we can see, essentially letting us see in the dark. Now, the contacts are clear, so you can still see normally, but you also have this super secret power to read hidden messages. And here's where it gets even crazier. The people that tried these said it was even easier to read secret messages when their eyes were closed. So in theory, someone could transmit an invisible message, and as long as you were facing in their direction, even if your eyes were closed, you could read it. Pretty insane. The Chinese lab said the first version of these is only going to cost $200. And I don't know about you, but I could see these being everywhere.
You might have seen reports that WhatsApp is about to leave the UK, but before you panic about losing the group chat, here's what's actually going on. WhatsApp, owned by Meta, has strongly opposed the UK government's efforts to weaken encryption, with Meta joining Apple, Privacy International and Liberty in legal action. The push to weaken WhatsApp's end-to-end encryption is mainly driven by the UK's Online Safety Act. Under the law, platforms like WhatsApp could be required to scan private messages for illegal content, particularly child abuse material, but since end-to-end encryption means even WhatsApp can't see users' messages, the only way to comply would be to weaken or break that encryption entirely. The government argues that this is about protecting children online. However, critics say it could compromise everyone's privacy and security. The Investigatory Powers Tribunal has blocked WhatsApp from joining Apple's legal case, but a hearing is scheduled for 2026. So WhatsApp isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but Meta insists that it would rather leave the UK than comply with a law that breaks encryption.
Keir Starmer has faced heavy criticism after it was revealed that the Online Safety Act ID verification system does not apply to the IP addresses in the Houses of Parliament, allowing MPs to log on and view adult and other restricted content without uploading their face or ID. Apparently this is to safeguard MPs from vicious foreign actors who could hack one of the third-party verification systems being used and release all of their private information. In a press statement, Keir Starmer said that the restrictions are not placed on the Houses of Parliament due to it being necessary for their work that MPs be allowed to access sensitive and adult content at a moment's notice, especially if they're really stressed. The Online Safety Act came into effect earlier this year and has since seen large amounts of backlash from the general public, with hundreds of thousands of people signing petitions, protesting in the street and taking vows of celibacy until the laws are repealed. A tech specialist who helped implement the exemption for the Houses of Parliament said that he was told they absolutely need a way for MPs to access adult content without having to show an ID, because over 200 MPs had complained to Labour and Keir Starmer that if they had to do that, they wouldn't support the Online Safety Act bill. Further reports seem to corroborate this story, as the amount of toilet paper that's been ordered to the Palace of Westminster in the last month has increased 400%.
If we want to kill the Online Safety Act, this is the way that it's going to happen. It won't be writing polite letters to MPs, it won't be signing petitions, and it definitely won't be getting out there and protesting. The only way to kill the Online Safety Act is to make the UK government lose money, and fast. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really hope that the big tech companies just pull the plug on Britain. Shut it down. No YouTube, no Facebook, no Wikipedia, no Spotify, no Instagram, no nothing. Just gone. Because the truth at the core of it is that the government doesn't care about your freedom. It doesn't care about your privacy, it barely cares about your safety, it only cares about one thing: making money. If you suddenly cut the UK off from the platforms that it uses to tax, track and profit from, suddenly Westminster would start foaming at the mouth. Billions in advertising gone, e-commerce completely slashed, and creators and businesses with no online reach whatsoever. And suddenly the UK government has a gaping hole in its revenue stream. Money is the only language that they speak. The Online Safety Act isn't just an authoritarian mess, it's a logistical nightmare for every company operating here. It forces them to build or outsource to creepy ID systems just to stay compliant compliant with the law. It's bad for people and it's even worse for business. And the government, they know that. They're just not going to care until the cash starts drying up. If Meta, Google, Apple, Reddit, and Spotify all just said, fuck it, this is too much hassle, and pulled out immediately, this law would be dead before Christmas. Because the second the money stops flowing, the safety theatre, that will end.